And hello and welcome. My name is Martin, and today what we're going to be talking about is how to create a custom geometry shape using our mode, what's called the brush editing mode. So what the brush editing mode will allow us to do is inside a geometry, it will allow us to be able to pick either a plane or a vertice and allow us to be able to pull on that plane or on that vertice. Okay, so let me turn my camera speed down just a little bit so we're not going to be flying around all over the place. Okay, so what I want to do now is I want to go and grab a geometry. So I'm going to go to Places, go to Geometry, grab a base box or a geometry box, and put that out on the floor. Now, had I been in regular select mode, this would have come in with the normal checker box that we're used to seeing when we don't have a material on a geometry. With that object selected, I am going to go now again to Modes and Brush Editing, and we'll see now what we get is sort of like a purple box that we can see through, and we can see what all the vertices look like through the object. So it's no longer really transparent, or it's no longer opaque. It's a little bit transparent, but only to the box itself, not to the materials that are behind it. So that's pretty neat. So the first thing we want to do is we actually want to go to the brush tool, and we want to make this a little bit thinner. So let me see which side that's going to be. That's the wrong side, so let's go to the other one. And we'll make this side about 50. And we'll make this about 400. Now I'm picking 400 because at 400 I'm going to get two even size boxes. So there's going to be two boxes, a dark one and a light one on this side, and a dark one and a light one on that side. Alright, so now that now that we have this in roughly the shape that we need for up there as far as the length and the height, this is 400 by 50 by 200. So I'm going to do is I'm going to grab that first vertice point, and well, let me grab this one. And what I'm going to do first is I'm actually going to drag that out and down and this way. So you can see now that what we've done is we've actually misshapen the box, or we've reshapen the box to whatever shape we wanted from wherever those vertices are being pulled from. Okay, so if we were to jump out of the tool now and go back into the select tool, we would now have a very strange looking box, or a custom made box, I should say. Okay, so I'm going to do undo, 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 and put that back and make it just a regular flat wall. All right, now the other thing that we could also do was that we could also pull a whole plane. So if I wanted to, and I'm going to go back into the brush editing mode. So instead of grabbing a vertice, what I can do is I can actually grab a whole plane like this. And if I want to, I could then grab that plane and pull out, and it'll add more space. Not sure if it actually made that longer. It looks like we've added more space. It doesn't look like the brush tool itself has corrected for the amount of space that we've created. So let's go back into select, and yeah, that's not reflected there. It's still showing us as a box that had the normal dimensions in there. Okay, so what we're going to do then is I'm also wondering if we could okay, we can also grab the line. So we can grab, so a vertice, a plane, or a line is what we will be able to select from there. Okay. All right, so we're going to do undo. Now the other thing we can also do is we can select multiple vertices, which is what I'm going to do now. So I know that this one is being held because, well, what I did to get this was hit Control on the other side. So I selected one, then came over here, held Control and selected the other one. And I know the other one is still selected because it's red, whereas all the other ones are still like a bluish color. And what I want to do now is with those two vertices selected, I'm going to pull them over to the middle. Okay, so that is the first side of our triangle that we need. Let us now grab the second one. Again, we're going to hold Control, and then we're going to drag these to the middle to meet the other two. Okay, so at this point we now have something that looks like a triangle, and we are ready to at least place this closer to the area. Obviously the triangle might need to be squished a little bit and then pulled out, but we'll do that shortly. Okay, so to do that, let us get out of the select tool, or I'm sorry, get out of the brush editing tool, go into the select tool. That will give us the ability to move the object again, and let's get this set up with the roof. Okay, so I'm going to set first the bottom. Now let's get this even with the edge. Okay, and now let's put it somewhere closer to the center. All right, now we are going to have a piece of that comes out through the top. Let's get that close right there, and we'll fix that in just a moment. What I want to do first is I want to make sure that the edges go out, so then that way I don't have this space here on the side. So again, once we've got the shape, we're going to select it. We're going to go back into modes. We're going to go back into brush editing mode. We're going to select one vertice, hold Control, select the other vertice, and then we're going to pull these over. Now obviously what I want to do is I want to pull enough to where I don't actually pull this through the object. It stays there, but I also don't have a gap where we'd be able to see through the square like we can here, or through the triangle like we could there. So once one side is pulled, we're going to grab the other side, again holding Control to grab the double vertice, and we're going to pull this side now. Again, doing the same thing. We want to make sure that we don't actually go through the object, but a little overlapping is good. That's not a big deal. And then what I want to do is I want to see what happened to the top of my roof, whether I have any of this that is protruding. I do have a bit of it, so let's go ahead and push that down. So I'm going to select that box again. I'm going to select the part that's protruding, and we are still in edit mode. So I should, and remember that we do have two sets of vertices that are up here, one from the left hand side and one from the right hand side. So let's grab one and then the other one. These we're going to want to push down so they're no longer going through the surface or back up through the top. Okay, now let's grab the ones from the other side, holding Control, and then we're going to drag those down. Okay, so now if I click somewhere else outside, we still got a little piece of it left, so let's tidy it up. Perfect. Let's grab this one, hold Control, grab the other one. Oops, let's do that again. Grab that one, hold Control, grab that one, and then push down. Okay, oops. So at this point, we shouldn't have any of either side poking through, and we now have our geometry perfectly shaped, custom shaped for that area. And at this point, all we got to do is go find the brick. Let's switch back from that to select mode. Select this one, find where the brick is, come over here to the brick, add the brick. Brick obviously is a little off, but this is cool because this is a geometry, so we can fix that quickly. We can go to 90, and we can scale this back up to 2. Hit apply because that's what we did to the bottom one. And then at this point, if we want to, we can sit there and play around with trying to even this out. Trying to find exactly where the pattern repeats. And once we find that, we'll be good. but essentially, even from far away at this point, or at least from where the character is going to be standing, it's going to be somewhat difficult to see where that line is. So at this point, that is creating a custom shape with the brush editing tool. I hope you enjoyed the video, and have a nice day. Bye-bye.